I believe in Scotland we've been able to deliver a unique service which is world leading. We have a crime scene to court service. Around the rest of the world it is very fragmented.
I will attend at a crime scene in order to give an interpretation or even a search for biological evidence such as blood or semen. We will use microscopes, blood pattern analysis, DNA technology in order to build up a picture as to whether something has or has not been used as a weapon.
We're looking to see make, model, caliber.
A gun is an implement. It's the person wielding is the issue, not the gun.
We would be looking for any fired cartridge cases, fired bullets. These could also still be in the deceased, so we would attend post-mortems.
Although you see a lot of dead people, you treat everyone as an individual with respect and with humanity.
One of the examinations that we're asked to do is to look at documents that have been altered, obliterated or erased. So just by using different levels of filtration, as you work your way through the incident light, you start to reveal information present underneath the obliterated entries.
So what I'm going to do now is take a lift from the right shoe in order for me to carry out a comparison with the photographs.
What I'm using here is carbon black powder. It's essentially like taking a fingerprint from the sole of the shoe.
The acetate is essentially just a sticky film which allows me to lift the pattern detail and any fine detail that might be present on the sole of the shoe. This shoe is responsible for this mark.
And this is an amino acid reagent that will basically, any fingerprints found will glow in the dark when we shine a light source on them. And what we have here is, you can see the fingerprints in the corner there. It's in a hold down position. So these have either been made as the right-handed person was writing the note, or equally it could be when the note was getting pushed over to the cashier.
Body mapping is the process of taking actual segments of photographs showing injuries, which could be a cut, could be a stab wound, could be internal injuries, and mapping them onto a 3D mannequin with the aid of sanitising the imagery to the jury.
We're trying to ascertain if there's been any transfer of blood potentially from the hands of the accused onto the handles of the pram.
This is called the KM test. We use it to confirm the presence of blood, and then we can go on to try and obtain DNA profiles from any blood staining that we would find.
We are part of a European network of forensic science institutes, but I do have meetings with people in America, with the FBI. I think the UK as a whole has always excelled. We certainly were the leaders for DNA, for instance.
This machine behind me will set up extractions for 80 samples, which is the equivalent of 3 DNA practitioners doing that manually.
15, 20 years ago, we could never imagine we're getting the results we're getting now, and this is because of the developments in DNA.
There will always be bad guys who attempt to clear up and attempt to destroy evidence, but there are always ways and means of finding that evidence.
Strathclyde Police has set up a unit to deal with cold cases, and it's basically going back and looking at old unresolved murders.
We thought in Scotland there was a better way of doing things. 2 years ago we established a multimedia unit in Glasgow.
The first multimedia case that I'd worked on for the police, I was tasked with creating a 3D model of the deposition site with the view to prove or disprove witness statements as to the positioning of the body in this chamber. And it was an instant success as there was a change of plea to guilty in the case.
One of the cases which springs to mind is the Balmore Road case. One man was shot and killed. And
in conjunction working with a ballistics expert, they can indicate to us the position of the firearms discharge in a scene.
The 2 individuals were convicted of murder and had the largest sentences in Scottish history. That was actually a big result for us.
Yep. There was a case where a big issue seller was murdered in Dundee. This girl had gone back with this guy. The body was found in the living room naked, lying on her back by the settee. We were able to bring up a stain of the girl lying in the fetal position. So the body had obviously been moved from the position that she died in. And in the middle of this outline of her body, there was a handprint. So that would tie in with someone pushing her over from that position. And there was also semen on her stomach and breasts, which suggested that there'd been some sort of post-mortem sexual assault. We basically tied the handprint to the suspect.
Two of the cases that particularly stand out in my mind are the two Peter Tobin murder cases that took place in Scotland. The murder of Angelica Klook and the murder of Vicky Hamilton. The body had lain there, they believed, for 14 years and was excavated, and they did not want to show the harrowing nature of the body, so we had to make a 3D reconstruction of the deposition site for the court. In Peter Tobin's murder trials, what we had to do there was show the final resting place of Angelica Klook in the church in Glasgow where she had been deposited.
The thought of having to go down into the hatch was terrifying. Once I was down there, I could have sworn I was there for 10-15 minutes. Your professionalism kicks in, you do what you have to do. I spent 3.5 hours under the floorboards with Angelica examining her body. All I'm thinking about is, how can I gather the best evidence? How can I help solve this case? And that kicks in.
And then you are under significant cross-examination, and that can be a very lonely place for a scientist.
Then once it's over, you're just exhausted. You're absolutely mentally and physically exhausted. It's been able to switch off.